Good morning, everybody. It's your boy Opti. Today is Friday, July 7th in the year 2023, and welcome to Simply Bitcoin. We are your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover breaking news, culture, and mimetic warfare, and we bring on Bitcoiners from all around the world, from the biggest names to the everyday savage Bitcoiner. We got them all, and we will be your guide through the separation of money and state. And guys, I can hear it now. I can hear the altcoiners in the chat saying and responding to today's headlines. Man, why are you guys flooding Binance, bro? They're all coming to Binance defense. Look, we're not here to spread FUD, but where there is smoke, there is fire. And we've been covering the Binance news for, I don't know, months now. I think a long time. And it's looking like there's more stuff coming down the pipeline. Is Binance in trouble? Is Binance in turmoil? Are they in crisis? What do we know? We are just covering the news. And whether us maxis like it or not, altcoiners make us all look bad. And if Binance does go down, this is bad for all of us because they just drag us through the mud. And as the saying goes, if you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will float down. Not saying shit. Oops. Not saying altcoiners are enemies. Didn't get past the first 2 minutes, but we've seen the amount of altcoinery that has dragged the whole industry down. So when they get wrecked, it pulls everything down. As I say all the time, altcoiners make us look bad. I usually say some bad words with this. But this is us Bitcoiners sitting by the river, waiting for the bodies of the altcoiners to float down the river because most of them are playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. So before you guys say we're funning, we'll continue to beat the drum of not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Do not leave your Bitcoin on exchanges, because it is not your Bitcoin. This is the message of today's show. Plus, we got some new news coming out about the DCA Army, and I think you guys are going to not only pat yourselves on the back, but be pleasantly surprised. And it's something I've covered on the show for a long time. I think people really underestimate the power of the DCA Army, and we're still a year out from the halving. So, absolutely bullish on this Friday. And of course, I'm not alone. I am here with our boy Rustin. I really hope that our audio and video all works today. So let's hope we can troubleshoot stuff. But how you doing this morning, Rustin? You're coming in clearer than I am, I think.
Woo! All right, fingers crossed, ladies and gentlemen. What a morning, but we thrive in the chaos, baby. And yeah, Binance has been under the knife for a long time now. And we have some recent news. 3 major officials are saying, peace easy. I'm out of here, CZ. Got on to bigger, brighter things. But all this stuff with Binance, the biggest shitcoin casino on the planet, they got some Bitcoin on the books. Maybe old Larry's trying to shake them out, You never know what Larry's up to. I mean, they own 90% of the media. They own governments. And they owned a lot of your data. So be wary while BlackRock pumps your bags. A lot of big news, though. Looking forward to it. Looks like everything is just falling right in line, right on time for us to deliver a little signal today.
It's all going exactly as planned. But of course, we aren't alone. We aren't alone today. We have been leaning on our boy Mike Hobart all week, and he's coming on as a guest today. We're just going to continue to add to the rants, and chaos is good. So while Nico's away, this is fine, guys. This is fine. How you doing this morning, Mike?
I'm just here for emotional support, guys. I'm here to make sure you guys are feeling okay and everything. Like, no, I'm kidding. I'm looking forward to just pointing out the stupidity of the altcoiners. Like nothing, like, okay, now maybe that was a little mean, but still, we've been telling you guys for years, and now the reality is finally coming home to roost.
Yeah, and I mean, again, before the shitcoiners out there tell us like, big mean maxis fudding Binance,
You've done been warned.
Yeah, we've been saying the same thing for years, if not a decade, and yet you still get blindsided by the news. Whatever. Anyways, let's get into the numbers. We got a lot to talk about, and I'm trying to make today's episode a little shorter than they've been because we've been going long. So, all right, let's get into this, guys.
The Bitcoin numbers. brought to you by Nostr. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse because now you can run a Nostr through a virtual private server. Visit nostr.eu today.
Of course, before we go on, we are plugging Bitcoin 2024. It is about what? A year and 2 weeks away. It's going to be in Nashville this year, guys. We are taking over Nashville July 25th through the 27th in the year 2024. And again, guys, I've been saying this all week. I know Nico has like a little more pristine shill of the conference, but mine is a lot more rudimentary. You need to get your tickets now because this is the lowest price it's going to get. And I hear you guys every single year complaining about the price. Well, get it now. You already know you're going to be wanting to go to Bitcoin Mecca, aka Bitcoin 2024. And this is the cheapest it's going to be, and prices are going to raise soon enough. And general admission is $299. The industry pass, if you want to get a job, look, literally, guys, I got a job at, I think it was Bitcoin 2022 here with Simply Bitcoin. You want to be rubbing elbows with your favorite Bitcoiners and your favorite just everyday Bitcoiner, the Bitcoin pleb out there. Everyone goes to the conference, whether they admit it or not, whether they put it on Twitter, they are there. Industry pass is $749. And if you're a whale out there and you want all the amenities, all the goodies, the tickets are at rock bottom, $4,499. And of course, you can get a discount by using the promo code SIMPLY. And we will see you in Nashville next year. I can't wait to get there. Anyways, before we go on, of course, we're in the numbers and we're over here at Clark Moody's dashboard. Actually, I have two dashboards today because I realized all week that we were missing the reachable Bitcoin node. So
update. I just wanted to break in. Christine Lagarde is in the chat right now.
Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Okay. She's keeping tabs on me. Okay. All right. Anyways. Over here on Clark Moody's dashboard, the block height, because no one cares about the actual date. The only date that matters is the block height, and we are currently at 797,616 all-time high in block height. TikTok, next block, Honey Badger don't care. And the current Bitcoin price is $30,330, which means that the sats per dollar, the Moscow time, the value of your US dollar is at 3,297 sats. The percentage of total Bitcoin that will ever be issued is at 92.48%. The market cap of Bitcoin in fiat terms is $589.2 billion. And the realized monetary inflation of Bitcoin taking fiat currencies to school is at 1.76%. And the Bitcoin versus gold market cap is at 4.64%. We're not even at 5% of the gold market cap, guys. And you guys still think you are late to this Bitcoin game. Bearish. You guys aren't as bullish as you claim to be on Twitter. Anyways, the total lightning capacity, public lightning capacity, is 5,426.99 BTC. I think it's inching up a little bit. I think those numbers are rising a little bit. Okay, and the reachable Bitcoin node. So I don't know what's going on with Clark Moody's dashboard, but I came over here on timechainstats.com and we have, I thought I had this set up.
16,786 nodes.
Yeah, there you go. All right, nodes found, 16,786 nodes. So I think the Clark Moody's dashboard and time chain stats have a little different metrics, but still we're in that 16 to 17,000 range of public reachable nodes. And the hash rate the last 90 days is 360 exahashes. And the pending fees, guys, it's almost like Bitcoin worked. It's almost like we have cleared the mempool. It's currently at 2.02 BTC. I thought Bitcoin broke. I thought the wizards broke Bitcoin. No, Bitcoin is working according to plan. Anyways, before we go on, before I give you the actual numbers that I wanted to talk about today, like I pointed out in the beginning of today's show, the fact that the DCA army is strong, we got to give you some context here. So again, I don't even know what this website is, but I couldn't do the quick math for you because it makes my computer act up even more. We're going to give the context of how many Bitcoins are mined per day in 2023. And it's very simple math. 6 blocks per hour times 24 hours a day is 900 Bitcoin, or times 6.25 for the amount of Bitcoin in the block subsidy. It is about 900 Bitcoins are mined per day. But that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is you guys out there, the DCA army that is stacking sats like madmen, like psychopaths. You are staying humble. You are stacking sats. You have that DCA on lock. Or also maybe you're more like me where you capitulate your fiat instantly and you dollar cost smash buy every single week. All right, so we got this tweet here from Dr. Jeff Ross. Shouts out to Dr. Jeff Ross. And he is quoting Hedge Eye USA or Christian Drake here. I tried to look up the actual article, but I couldn't find it. So I'm taking Jeff Ross's word for this one. But anyways, here's a quote here, and it goes, BTC shrimp, those owning less than one BTC are currently absorbing coins at a rate of 33.8 thousand Bitcoin per month, and this compares with the issuance of approximately 27,000 Bitcoin per month.
Holy crap.
So 900 Bitcoin a day that is released, that is being mined. We talk about the realized monetary inflation of Bitcoin. 900 Bitcoin released a day times the 30 days in a month roughly equals out around to 27,000 Bitcoin a month. And you guys out there, the DCA army is absolutely eating up all of the Bitcoin supply, the new Bitcoin supply. And we're not even at the halving yet. Like, I don't think you guys are understanding the economics of what is going on here, because it's absolutely bullish for every single one of us, because it really doesn't take that many Bitcoiners, that much of the DCA army to eat up the Bitcoin supply. So what does this mean for you guys? It's very simple. It means number goes up, guys. It means it's going up forever, Laura.
It's going up forever, Laura.
Once we hit the halving, and I know there's a lot of contention on Twitter about like, oh, are the halving cycles still maintained? Are the halving cycles intact? I think people really, really underestimate the economics of Bitcoin. I hate to use the shitcoin lingo, but the pumponomics of Bitcoin are still intact as far as I'm concerned. Anyways, you know me. I love memes, and I think memes kind of give us not only some laughter, some lightening of the mood, some entertainment of it, but there's a good little conversation going back and forth here, and a meme in here. And so we got Brandon Words. He goes, they ain't called shrimps anymore. They're called piranhas. And we got Stacking Sat Plebs, and he goes, this needs to be a thing. And we got a meme here that Sat Stacking Pleb added to the lexicon. And we have miners, we have exchanges, we have humpback whales that are over 500 or 5,000 Bitcoin. We have whales which are in the 1K to 5,000 Bitcoin stack range. We have sharks which are in the 500 to 1K stack range. We have dolphins 100 to 500. We have fish with is the 50 to 100. This means holding 50 to 100 coins. So, do the mental gymnastics. We have an octopus 10 to 50. We have crabs, which is in that 1 to 10 range. And now we have the piranha, which is all of the DCA army out there. You're no longer shrimps. You are Bitcoin piranhas eating up all of the Bitcoin supply. And shouts out to my boy, Base Money Tech, or Base Kraken at the Money Tech. Get on the fucking mission, guys. If you do not stack Bitcoin consistently, if you are not following in the Bitcoin ABCs, which is basically always buy coin, you are missing out on the best opportunity to be a Bitcoiner right now, because, hey, this is probably the cheapest we will ever get it moving forward. And it just kudos to all you guys out there that are stacking sats, that are making sure you are saving in the hardest money ever. And you guys either have your dollar cost average, auto dollar cost average set up, or you guys smash buy and capitulate your fiat instantly like I do. But man, I think it is Friday and we won't see you till Monday. But in my opinion, we do our best to minimize the amount of stupid bullishness here. And I know I get yelled out because I say bullish so much on the show. But if this doesn't make you bullish, I don't know what will. You guys are stacking your balls off. And sorry, this is not a gender-specific meme here. You are eating up the total Bitcoin supply, and that is absolutely bullish as far as I'm concerned. So continue to stack, continue to take Bitcoin into self-custody, continue to take that Bitcoin off the exchanges because it's not your Bitcoin if it is on an exchange, and Rustin will tell you why coming up soon. But anyways, I heard Mike chime in already, so let's get Mike's take, and then we'll get Rustin's take.
Uh-oh. You heard me chime in. What am I supposed to comment on?
I don't know. You're just like when we said 900.
The 33,000 per month.
Yeah,
That is a crap load. because the after yesterday's show, you guys weren't able to hear it, but I was going over some of the miners were reporting their returns and their operational capacity yesterday. Well, not yesterday, but way late in the evening the night before, and like those guys are pulling in like anywhere from an average of like 300 to 900 per quarter, and the plebs are buying up 33,000 per month. So that would be what? So like that about 90,000 per quarter. Like plebs are buying up over 100 times what the miners are putting out. Like that's pretty crazy stuff, dude. Like that's, if you're like, I know I'm usually like, Opti, you like to bring me on as like the sober, like bullish Bitcoiner.
I got him bullish this morning. Let's go.
But that's bullish, dude. That's really bullish.
Love it.
I'm
All
excited.
Right. Love it. Hold on. Before we go on, we got Jamie Dimon in the chat and he goes, Bitcoin is not a Ponzi scheme. I lied. Dude, Ponzi is Safu. Buy the Ponzi. This is Ponzi for the people. Let's go. All right, Rustin, jump in.
And guys, you got to be in the live show, the live chat. We've got breaking news. Jamie Dimon has been stacking corn for years. And also Warren Buffett is a closet stacker. You saw it. You can go in the chat and check that out. But guys, Bitcoin's getting scarcer. Fiat's getting more superfluous. By the day, we've got tons of money being injected into the market. Currently is like some backdoor bank savings. So, I mean, we're in the early innings here of what appears to be the bull market. I think we went up 100% in 7 months, and I'm having like a little bit of reminiscence of back to 6K and that rapid rise back to 12K. So it could be those early innings. But when you have, I think you could say the big money, the whales, and those guys will dictate kind of the ceiling, how far into the stratosphere Bitcoin will go. But it's the plebs who always set the floor. And there is no way you're ever going to convince any of us to stop stacking. It's just never going to happen. And to find a price where some people are going to shake out their Bitcoin with the plebs and the DCA army, it's just not likely. So this could end up, I mean, there's just such a convergence of events, and Saylor talked about these 4 major events. Then you pair that with the, say, macro calamity, Dalio's 3 points, and also just the other day, if you guys watched that full video of Larry Fink and BlackRock, yeah, he talked about Bitcoin, but he said blockchain a whole lot and sounded like a complete jackass a lot of times. But he also said that bubble in commercial real estate is real, currency debasement is real, and that Bitcoin is a play against these foreign currencies and currency debasement with no reliance on any other nation. So he's getting there. He's coming along. He still might be a cuck and he might pump our bags, but we gotta be wary of Larry. Okay.
It's definitely the Friday show. Yeah. Oh man, I had a point, but Rustin threw me off. I don't remember what you just said, but
I do with Larry, boys.
I remember. What you just
before
said.
That there was something before that. But anyways, I think the point remains the same, guys. You know, we say it all the time: stay humble, stack sat, stay solvent. Yes, we don't want to get you stupidly bullish where you wreck yourself. You do something stupid financially. But I think the important point here is there is a lot of us out there stacking sats consistently, and number will go up in time. This is the fundamental basic thesis of Bitcoin. 21 million hard cap, having cycles, and people understanding that they want a freedom money that they can opt into. So I missed the point that I wanted to say because Rustin's about to get us nuked on YouTube. But anyways, let's get into the news before Rustin nukes us so we can get some Rustin takes on here. Let's go.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green Jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin.
Let's go. Okay, guys, before I pass the mic to Rustin, we got to plug Orange Pill app, guys. If you do not have Bitcoiners in your area, you need to get in touch with other Bitcoiners. Stop being the lonely, delusional Bitcoiner in your own area and be around other delusional Bitcoiners because it's so much more awesome. Stack friends who stack sats. Get on the orangepillapp.com. Download it from your what do you call it? The App Store, and get in touch with Bitcoiners. If there are no Bitcoin events in your area, create a meetup. All it takes is one more Bitcoiner for you to have a party, and you don't have to make like a educational meetup or anything. You just simply link up with a Bitcoiner, grab a drink, grab some dinner, eat some steak, talk about how crazy Clown World is, because there's something about it. It really makes you feel a lot more sane when you understand, oh, there's more of us out there. And as we covered already on the news, there is a lot more of us out there than we can even imagine, because we're just on Twitter all the time in our little echo chambers. But hey, there's real people out there that believe in Bitcoin. And then, of course, me and Mike were kind of talking about it before the show. Shouts out to every single one of you guys that are sending us messages. It really means a lot. I heard Mike tell us that you guys were showing him love on the app as well. So anyways, Rustin, the floor is yours, brother.
All right, let's get it. So we've been here before, but things are getting a little hairy for old CZ and Binance. So Binance chief Changpeng Zhao discussed the departure of his top lieutenants. The exchange lost 3 of its top executives this week, including its general counsel. Reports indicated that the executives blamed their departure on Zhao's handling of recent investigations. He's been under investigation for about 2.5 3 years now. And again, guys, don't worry about it. Just throw up number 4. More FUD about some departures, more FUD about us commingling funds, more FUD about us using your coin to make savage bets and basically follow that FTX Alameda model. And guys, it is getting hairy. The top executives blamed their departure again on the investigation from the Department of Justice. Patrick Hillman tweeted a clarification on Twitter where he stated that he was leaving the exchange on good terms. Hillman stated that he was ready to move on to the next challenge. Maybe he's going to go join BlackRock and they're going to eat up CZ's corn once he gets mangled here. But Zhao claimed that the departure of his company's top executives was a part of the regular turnover process. Well, let's see. I don't know too many people losing their top 3 official, officers here and there. Maybe Coinbase had a few recent things going on, but they're also bringing in new regulatory counsel and things of this nature to prepare for the new era of the kind of institutional ETF Bitcoin. I just call it a horse inside the castle. And once Bitcoin is inside the doors, the freedom virus takes hold. All you need is to get inside. And here is more from Hillman. I continue to respect and support Binance and am grateful for having had the opportunity to work under his leadership. The DOJ, let's zoom in here. The DOJ probed Binance on its policies for tackling illegal finances in December 2020, soliciting close to 30 requests for internal documents over concerns an exchange had failed to act on illegal activity. And we had certain things go on with the Ukraine, Russia scenario. They were trying to blacklist certain addresses, but we know how Bitcoin works. You can't really do that, but you can shut down addresses on an exchange. Binance and CZ, BAM Trading, Binance US were then charged by the SEC in June. The charges include alleged securities violations, commingling of funds, among other things. And Corey has hit on this. I don't know. He's talked about maybe 10 possible felonies going on over here. You have unregistered securities all over the world. You have one thing interesting about Binance that you got to give CZ a little credit for is the fact it's so hard to pin him down and find him because they are a pretty decentralized organization, but the walls appear to be closing in. Unlike Hillman and NG, CCO Perlman has no intentions of leaving the exchange, stating he is proud to be a part of this incredible organization. So they were able to keep one key officer. Some media outlets informed that the DOJ targeted Binance over money laundering activities. The exchange recently hired M. Kendall Day, former prosecutor at the U.S. Department of Justice, to appear as counsel in its legal battle against the SEC. So out with the old, in with more establishment types, maybe to stiffen CZ's image, make them look more professional, while they send, while you can go buy Jizz Blossom or whatever else on their exchange, probably for half a penny. I don't know. It's all going to zero. And guys, all of these things, if you look at Binance, there will be one pump and then they never return to that all-time high. Just stay away from this stuff. It's just, God, don't play with fire. But you can tell a kid that time and time again, and they'll still put their hands on the flat top or in the oven, and they have to learn or get burned. And this is part of the process. But some interesting news here. Crypto hacks, U.S. Homeland Security has returned 314K to the Bitfinex exchange after that hack. So Bitfinex gave affected customers a token, BFX, instead of their assets. The token represented their claims on the lost funds. They redeemed all BFX tokens and returned in US dollar valuation. The exchange will distribute the funds to individuals based on their share loss at the time of the hack, and said it will keep pursuing the recovery of the remaining funds and cooperating with authorities globally. It's not very smart to try to do these activities with Bitcoin, because eventually, through chain analytics and different things, you will be discovered. It's probably one of the worst things to really do illicit activity in. And that's why the government hates it, because maybe we could see where all those shady dealings were really going, because all funds are fungible once they come in. So all your tax money, who knows where that goes? It may go to some interesting money laundering operations in Ukraine, but you never know. The truth keeps coming out more and more every day as more conspiracies become just like status quo news. But BRICS nations, guys, eyeing new global currency as a threat to the dollar. If you've read The Mandibles, and that came out in 2015, and how wild this development towards BRICS, the rapid growth of BRICS, their impact, their economic prowess is gaining momentum. And I have a little infographic to show you on just how much growth is being had in BRICS compared to the G7 economically. They're also record amounts of 13 to 30 other countries are wanting to join the union. So this is very interesting. And then if you have a currency that the U.S. can't sit at their armchair and shut down and close off your nation's economy in different fashion, you know, everyone's looking this way. And me and Mike talked about this basically the day after we shut off Russia from SWIFT. We made the big case as to this would be one of the biggest events in modern macro times. So the development of anything alternative to the US dollar is more a medium to long-term ambition, not going to happen overnight. And this goes back again to the Mandibles and the Bancor, but the Bancor was also something Keynes talked about as a commodity-based currency, but we also know Keynes believes in infinite debt. Debt doesn't matter, and all spending is spending. So believes in centralized control at the end of the day. But both China, Russia, the main BRICS union have been accumulating gold like crazy. We have 13 countries from Africa, Latin America, and Asia have submitted applications or officially approached the BRICS leadership to seek membership. And I am still awaiting. There have been discussions on this, and maybe Mike would like to talk on it. But the moment that energy is priced in Bitcoin, because it makes more sense than anything, and when Russia begins exporting their major natural gas and oil resources priced in Bitcoin, energy priced in a currency directly monetized energy. So I want you guys to take a look at this. Let me zoom in here. So it is no longer the first world and third world, but the ascending world, the descending world. So it's going to go year by year, and you see BRICS growth, and it is pretty rapid. And if you've heard any of Peter St. Onge recently, he believes that they are fudging the GDP numbers by as much as 3% because GDI and GDP aren't matching up when they're basically the same mechanism. And we know where we're going. When you're not manufacturing and you're not creating, you're just taking from people. It's not a it's not a recipe for long-term success. And as you see, the G7 is getting taken to school, and by 2028, they're going to be well in the hole compared to BRICS. So again, we have the end of the unipolar world, and it is not going to stop. And Bitcoin is looking everyone in the face as a solution to a currency no one can manipulate or be sanctioned or shut off from. And it's just stair steps, and we can all these converging activities are just setting up for one of the most epic bull runs I feel like we have seen. But be wary at these points through cycles. A major shakeout is still on its way at some point here. More legal ramifications. We have Kraken's Jesse Powell under federal investigation, but the exchange remains uninvolved. So Powell is currently involved in a civil dispute with the Verge Center for the Arts, a nonprofit art gallery. The news was confirmed to Crypto Slate by people familiar. The dispute revolves around allegations made by Powell, who claims that the Verge improperly removed him from its board of directors and subsequently accused him of unauthorized access to its email system following dismissal. Now, in this article, it got into some of the New York Times informed U.S. law enforcement agents that they had searched Powell's home in L.A. in March this year after an art center called Verge claimed he cyberstalked the entity and blocked employees from accessing confidential data. Unnamed sources revealed that the FBI confiscated electronic devices from Kraken's former boss to further investigate the case. So hopefully Jesse didn't have any hardware wallets.
Wasn't he like involved in the company though?
Yeah, he is still a chairman. It's kind of like MicroStrategy, how he stepped down. He's not CEO, but he is still a chairman and an affiliate.
So if he's preventing access to confidential documents, he could be doing his job. Kind of sounds like.
Yeah, in some fashion, doing maybe what others at the exchange aren't doing. Like, unless you have a subpoena and specifically desired warrant for those things, I mean, it's kind of his responsibility to hold things and to benefit the customers. If it's anything relying on, say, surveillance and all these other things. And guys, things are getting bullish. The shitcoin casinos looks like they're going to go the way of the dinosaur. And about 6 years ago this week, that famous moment, the buy Bitcoin sign, while at that time, Yellen was chairman of the Fed, right?
I think so.
Not Treasury. And we got the buy Bitcoin, the biggest signal ever at the time. Bitcoin was 2,400. And again, one for the history books. And I wanted to just retell you guys about Larry. Too many people are jumping on the Larry bandwagon. So $10 trillion BlackRock could revolutionize finance, while he praised nothing but blockchain. Now, he did say Bitcoin a lot, and he did kind of direct that Bitcoin is hope. I wonder if him and Saylor have had some discussions. But be wary of Larry until proven otherwise. Again, these guys own. It's still extremely bullish. I'm not saying it's not. It is extremely bullish, but they own 90% of the media, more data than any other company on you, and they kind of own governments, and they are the backstop for a lot of financial things. After 2008, who scooped up most of that disaster? That would be BlackRock. But guys, a lot of things going on, a lot of news. I want to see Opti and Mike. What do you got?
Yeah, all right. So kind of circling back to the beginning of the CZ Binance news. Like I think this would be a nothing burger if it was only one person stepping down. But the fact that it is 3 of the top officials stepping down, I think should make you wonder. Not only, of course, like them stepping down on a long enough time frame, like that would mean there's probably some kind of issues in the company, but them stepping down within what, days or weeks, like I don't know about you, but that is definitely causing alarms going off in my head. But again, I don't hold any coin on Binance, so like I know they're spinning this as a good thing. But of course, you can't come out and say like, oh, there's something wrong directly within the company, because obviously they're not doing their jobs. But there is no coincidence. And again, like adding all this together with the context and the constant smoke we're seeing from Binance, you should be worrying if you are holding coin on Binance. Like, we definitely don't endorse trading, but I know some of you guys still like to trade, and we all know that Binance is one of the biggest shitcoin casinos out there. You know, people like to trade shitcoin to get more Bitcoin, but this should make you worry. Consider that we've seen so many exchanges blow up in the last year or so. So I've said in the past, CZ had a very intimate relationship with which threads to pull with FTX. I don't know. Those are just things that make me ask questions and go like, I wonder why. But the Bitfinex story is pretty crazy. I mean, they didn't get all the coin back, but they got some of their Bitcoin back, and they got it back a lot quicker than the Mount Gox saga. So that's kind of an interesting point that like Mount Gox still hasn't been resolved, but Bitfinex was able to get some of their coin back. Maybe, obviously it's not the same. There's different variables, but I think it's still kind of an interesting point and absolutely insane that has happened. But the point remains the same, guys. Like, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Don't leave anything on exchanges. This is just like standard. I know where people are yelling us in the chat that we never beat away from our main narratives here is people still don't get the basics, guys. Stack Bitcoin, take Bitcoin off exchanges, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. You have to beat this stuff into people's heads. What gets repeated gets followed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, on the G7 news, and then we'll pass it over to Mike. It's just a Bitcoin game theory heating up, right? Like, everyone is still thinking that a new fiat currency will fix the problems of the fiat dollar, but you can't fix the system by playing within the system. And it's something that Mike said to me over the weekend. It's like, we are just looking at world news and we're funneling everything in through the Bitcoin lens. And it's very obvious to us Bitcoiners that Bitcoin is the solution. What? You're just going to try to paper over the financial problems with more paper? That makes absolutely no sense. You are still doing the same thing that got us into this position. Like, I know we say there's Bitcoin, there's slavery. It's not red versus blue, it's green versus orange, but there's paper and there's Bitcoin. Like, this is the fundamental breakdown of what's going on. And the world has been detached from reality for so long that now it's snapping back down to base reality. And shouts out to Elaine, because she put a comment in the chat that I was basically going to touch on as well, that all official numbers are fake. And until you understand that basic premise, everything is fake, you're not going to really understand what's going on. And again, I'm not sure if you guys have been watching the recent Balaji podcast, whether it was on Marty Ben or on What Bitcoin Did, but lately he's been making a great parallel to the end of the USSR and how all factory production was fudged, and they had absolutely no idea what they were doing, producing cars, et cetera, and they were all basically fake. The numbers were fudged. They were bloating them, and they were doing more harm to the economy than actually producing stuff. And a parallel here, again, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. We're in a very similar scenario now, but it's on the financial side, and it's also a global financial problem. All the financial numbers are faked, and no one knows where reality actually is. And it's going to be rough when everything does snap back down to base reality. So this is why we keep telling you, protect yourself, save in Bitcoin, take Bitcoin into self-custody, because you might want to get some just in case it catches on and just in case the financial world is blowing up. And again, what's Rustin say? Be wary of Larry. Again, we've been kind of talking about this in spaces, the idea that, hey, taking away the nefarious aspects of BlackRock, and I know everyone's a tinfoil hat wearer in the chat, but they're looking at the same landscape that we are looking at, and they like to make money. They like to make profits, and they are just protecting their bags. So the fact they're getting into Bitcoin, I think, on the one hand, obviously keep your head on a swivel, and I am going to actually touch on this in the culture today because there's been a lot of talk about it, but I'm not going to be holding paper Bitcoin. I'm not going to be telling anyone to hold paper Bitcoin. I'm going to tell everyone to take Bitcoin into self-custody. So it's just upon every single one of us to spread that signal and not let the unproductive class psyop this movement by spreading FUD, by trying to fork the chain and everyone hold paper Bitcoin. Again, it's something Mike keeps telling us. It's not over till it's over, and we still have a lot of work to do here. Anyways, Mike, jump in.
I'll keep it brief. But as far as with the CZ stuff, those of you that haven't been around since 2017, he's been very arrogant about his positioning of how he has set up Binance. He was very openly on podcast bragging about how he set up that company basically they set it up like a pirate ship. And he was talking very, very, very arrogantly and confidently. It's we can't be touched, man. He's like, we're gonna keep trading all these altcoins. We're gonna be like trying to make a bunch of Bitcoin from everybody else on the planet, and then you guys can't touch us. So like, and I don't blame those 3 executives for leaving. Like, there's a point of where you're strong and confident, and you're attracting like attention as far as like just trying to prove your dominance. But when you're in a situation where basically all of the major like regulatory bodies and governments are literally going to war, and then you're deciding to like point a target on your face and be like, all right, come at us. It's like, we're not really in the position of power right now. So, but then I did want to, there's 2 other things. One real quick is that, my boy Dennis in the chat, who keeps getting triggered about my drinking Monster, dude, you can stay triggered. I'm going to drink whatever I want. But I will say that
Mike's ungovernable.
but I will say that like the G7 and the BRICS conversation, yes, I have been eating lots of beets, Yellow. Actually, it's because I have the window right here and a very cheap laptop that I'm streaming to you from, so it looks like I'm red. But anyway, the G7 and the BRICS conversation, there's been a lot of individuals like on Spaces and on just like mainstream media talking about like, oh, all these fears that the US dollar like system and the US dollar petrodollar system is like losing dominance, and like but like they're coming out and stating that like BRICS isn't something to worry about. Just keep in mind that like these individuals are in positions where they are incentivized to talk down any concerns and keep the trust and the belief back in their own system. Because I've talked about this many times, is that when people are trying to compare, like, say, the collapse of the Roman Empire through like their monetary debasement and all the other problems that they had that are relatively similar to what the US is going through right now, and trying to say that like Rome took forever to collapse, so the US is going to take forever to collapse, is just like a foolish uneven comparison between like the levels of communication today and the technological advancement. People are going to be capable, like people in countries like we're witnessing right now with that chart that Rustin just played. You can switch your money over to a different money or something of better purchasing power very, very rapidly. Like SVB was another great example. Like it was like like $20 billion in 24 hours, like what moved. So just keep, I would just keep your head on a swivel, like Rustin said, because I think I wanted to comment on something he said early on, was that it looks like we're kind of copying price action as far as the rise from like $4,000 to 12. I echo what he said as far as like just expect at least one more shakeout before things actually get really interesting.
Yeah, I am stupidly bullish as I am. I have PTSD where I'm just like, I swear it's coming. There's going to be one more leg down before we actually clear and, have a little bit of
rocket ship, get on board.
I have to tell myself that too, because I'm like, all right, I'm stupid bullish. The general sentiment is bullish everywhere, so something is coming down the pipe.
Counter trade Twitter, counter trade the Bitcoiners.
Exactly.
But Mike, this is something we've talked about, and UTXO says the same thing. People underestimate how quickly information is moving in the modern day, like the digital world that we live in. Like our dopamine receptors are so fried because you forget what happened like 3 months ago, a year ago. Like a year ago is so long in even in the normie world, let alone
especially
in the Bitcoin world.
Time.
Yeah, in Bitcoin time, things happen so quickly, and you're just constantly bombarded with information that you forget how fast this thing is really moving. And I know we keep saying that we are basically turning around the Titanic, but things are moving so quickly in the modern world. It's almost impossible to stay on top of things, but also impossible to track how fast society is changing in real time. So I think it's just something we need to keep in mind here, guys. Things are happening a lot quicker than we even imagine. Anyways. Oh, yeah. Jump in, Rustin.
All right. So I just wanted to say, anyone out there, Binance has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Like if you ever visit Binance, everything that's shoved down your throat are shit coins and unregistered securities. They have gamified degeneracy. Like if you just look around, they have gamified leveraging on options and puts and calls. And so these people are wrecking themselves without even knowing it. thinking they're playing these little raffles and games, and before they know it, they can get totally wrecked. And it's all with this fluffy bullshit all over in these different little what are those pools again? Something pools. I don't know. Stake pools?
Staking pools, yeah.
Staking pools and things like that. And if something says it's going to give you a 50 or to 125% interest, get the hell out of there. Like, they don't even have the Lightning Network integrated on Binance. They don't give a shit about Bitcoin. They just want to steal from you. So don't fall prey to these people. Stay away from the shitcoin casinos.
Well,
You got tons of places where you can DCA into Bitcoin and go straight into self-custody.
And Rustin, the point that I wanted to leverage on with like the Lightning integration is that like a reason that they don't do the Lightning integration is because they can say that they like by using the Bitcoin Core transaction system, like they're a lot of those exchanges will say, oh, because Bitcoin Core like dealing with like all like the mempool and everything, if you're using the transactions this way, we're going to batch the transactions so they have to come out all at one time. And that allows them to like choke off Bitcoin being like taken off of the exchange. So it's just something that people need to be aware of.
That's a good point. Thanks, Mike.
Love it. For some reason, Rustin, I had the meme pop up in my head. Send me 1 Bitcoin, I'll send you 2 Bitcoin. How do people still fall for this? They just cloak it up.
Oh my God. I had this guy, he's like a big, he's been in agriculture a long time, doing a lot of things. And he was reaching out on, hey, I got this thing about, a guy told me it works. If I send him a little, Bitcoin, they'll send me double or what. I was like, please, for the love of God, don't do that. It's total bullshit. If it sounds too good to be true, it is. And there was a recent thing, the husband to a math teacher at the high school here, poor guy, like he got phone calls. First, it was something on his drive, so he had malware telling him his security was at risk. Then he called the number, and then they pressured him, saying his family was at risk and his wife and her job. And so he goes to an ATM and sent 10 grand in Bitcoin, to somebody. And the poor guy, I mean, he's like 60. So, be wary of these things. Always have your head in a swivel. And if you're new to Bitcoin, anything ever happens like that, please contact someone that's educated in Bitcoin, your kids. Yeah. Or someone around our age, or you could DM a guy like us on Twitter, and we do our best to help you.
Yeah,
no question. Or Alex Stanzik and those guys. So there's tons of resources.
Yeah, better yet, just don't send any Bitcoin to someone on the internet
ever. Yeah, ever.
And also, since we're here, don't put your seed phrase on the internet as well. All right. Anyway, let's get into the culture.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
All right, guys. Also, of course, we will be at Pacific Bitcoin Festival, October 5th through the 6th in Los Angeles, 2023. We're going to be hanging out at the hangar, doing all the fun stuff over there. You definitely want to go hang out over there with us. If you're on the West Coast, I know maybe Nashville's too far of a trip. Maybe Miami was too far a trip. Well, go to Pacific Bitcoin in LA. It's going to be a great time. October is the best time to be on the West Coast as far as I'm concerned. And I grew up on the West Coast, so I might know a thing or two about it. But anyways, this is the spring pricing. So prices will probably go up. And again, we're telling you this now. It's what? 3-4 months away, and you guys are going to yell at us about the price rise. Well, this is how conferences work. Anyways, get yourself a general admission ticket for the 2 days at $550. Get yourself a VIP ticket for $2,800. Get all the amenities. We want to see you in LA. It's going to be a blast. I don't know. They're going to probably have the basketball court again. There'll be some music. It's a good time, guys. Anyways, like I said, in regards to the BlackRock news and being wary of Larry and all the tinfoil hat wearing Bitcoiners out there, I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. I also share these same sentiments, but I think there's something that a lot of us Bitcoiners have tapped into, and it boils down to the basic meme of Bitcoin is for enemies. And I think the TLDR of this whole conversation, and I'm glad I have Mike here with us today because he's usually a little more, game theory. What's the word? Looking at attack vectors and trying
adversarial thinking.
Adversarial thinking. That's what I was looking for. And thinking through this whole Bitcoin process so that we do not get blindsided. And again, the TLDR is if Bitcoin can't withstand BlackRock joining the game, which is always going to be an inevitability, then what are we really doing here? Anyways, I got a few tweets here because it sums up what we've been trying to say. And of course, they're in tweet form, so they're short and sweet. But again, guys, if you are afraid of BlackRock, well, then I think it's upon us to spread that signal to have people holding coin in their own wallets, running the nodes, keeping the network as decentralized as possible. If you have the possibility, get yourself some miners out there. If you have cheap electricity, join the network and be a part of the decentralization. Anyways, we have Stop and Decrypt here, and he's quote tweeting Magoo. And Magoo said, simping for BlackRock is about as far away from Bitcoin as you can get. And while I agree and I like the tweet, shouts out to Magoo, Stop and Decrypt quote tweeted it. And this is something I think a lot of us Bitcoiners have either been saying publicly or privately. And we all understand that this was an inevitability of the financial world, the financial institutions, the biggest corporations of the world, eventually putting Bitcoin on their balance sheet. Anyways, the tweet here by Stop and Decrypt goes, you can't end the Fed and replace the money with Bitcoin, but also want it to remain your Treehouse Club novelty coin. Bitcoin has and always will be for everyone. Adoption requires this. Larger entities entering the space have and will continue to be a means to measure where we are on that adoption curve. And of course, we have a bell curve here, and we have, little old Opti over here on the left side going, number go up. We have the midwit in the middle going, but that's not what Bitcoin is about. And then we have the Giga Chad right side of the Bitcoin, our bell curve Bitcoiner. Number will go up in a cloak, but Stop and Decrypt doubles down on it, and he goes, I would be more concerned about whether the network is resilient enough for it yet to withstand that. It's not simping to be unsure if this decentralized endeavor will ever work, or it's not simping to be unsure whether the know that adoption requires this, or excited to see it play out in front of you, thus confirming things seem to be going very positively. And again, I know Mike might not be the biggest fan of Beautyon, but I love the stuff he tweets. And he's really quote tweeting Bitcoin Reserve headquarters here, or at BTC Reserve headquarters on Twitter. And I think this sums up the point very, very eloquently. And you guys can throw tomatoes all you want, but I think this is what everyone is saying, even though whether you like it or not, this is what is happening. So Bitcoin Reserve goes, most of us don't like BlackRock, but here's the reality. If you truly want Bitcoin to be money, then your enemies must use it too. If you only want Bitcoin to be used by people you like, then it won't be money. As Mises once stated, money is the most saleable of all goods. And Beautyon just quote tweets it and goes, some of them are awake. Nice. Anyways, this is not just us Bitcoiners saying this. I was reminded of a point in the Bitcoin white paper. And again, I don't want you guys to, straw man me and say like, oh, you're pointing to the authority that was Satoshi to, use it as a crutch for your argument. But if you remember, or if you haven't read the white paper, you might need to read it for the first time or maybe again. There is paragraph 6 here, and it is incentive. And at the very bottom of that block on the Bitcoin white paper, Satoshi writes, the incentive may help, which is the block reward is what he's talking about. The incentive may help encourage nodes to stay honest. If a greedy attacker is able to assemble more CPU power than all the honest nodes, he would have to choose between using it to defraud people by stealing back his payment or using it to generate new coins. He ought to find it more profitable to play by the rules, such rules that favor him with more new coins than everyone else combined, than to undermine the system and the validity of his own wealth. And I'm pretty sure Stop and Decrypt said something very similar in here. And it's just kind of doubling down on the idea that we've all been talking about. If you've been around since the block size wars, or if you just studied the block size wars, we have Chad L. Wartowski goes, at what point At one point, BlackRock will need to fork BTC when it becomes clear that it impedes tax dollars which they use to fund wars. They will ensure that it does not have utility to be spent. And Stop and Decrypt goes, Roger Ver and Craig Wright were never the end game bosses. A newer, stronger, more noteworthy adversary is to be expected. If not BlackRock, then someone else. So be it. It has to happen. And the point stands, guys, is what we say. This was the inevitable outcome of Bitcoin becoming the global reserve asset. And so if Bitcoin cannot withstand BlackRock, then what are we doing here? And what is the point of this whole decentralized money experiment? So again, it's not about, being complacent. It's about keeping your head on a swivel, but understanding this is a process of adoption. And yes, we may not like BlackRock, but this was the inevitable outcome. We knew that corporations were coming. Now, change the name. And I ask people this on Spaces all the time. Like, if it was another corporation and it wasn't BlackRock, would you still have this knee-jerk reaction? And some people were like, I don't know. I think it's just because of BlackRock. So the big boogeyman is here. And just make sure that you are spreading the freedom tools. And also, in that very same extent, using the freedom tools correctly. Run a node, take Bitcoin into self-custody, back up your seed phrase on something that cannot be destroyed, and all the good stuff I say constantly that I'm blanking right now. Anyways, Rustin, I see you nodding along. What's up, brother?
Yeah, it's one thing that's incredible about Bitcoin. Like the rules apply to everyone. So there's no way that BlackRock can really rig the system. They can do some things to try to suppress the price of Bitcoin and things of that nature, but it can only go on for so long as they have the capital to do so. Now they are totally stacked, 10 trillion. But along with them, you've got Fidelity, Van Eck, and it looks like, because they have the same words on paper and they are first up in the line, ARK Invest technically may be the one to get this first. And, Kathy Wood has been around the community a lot, and she seems to understand it. The ARK reports they put out, what is that, quarterly or is that biannual? But they do some amazing work on the ARK Bitcoin reports. They're super bullish on Bitcoin. But again, it's part of the process of adoption. Maybe this is the this little stage in here before Bitcoin really goes into being on central banks' books. It doesn't happen overnight. Not everyone is as forward thinking as Austrian and free market in a lot of fashion as, say, Nayib Bukele down there. So it's going to be part of the process, but you've got Bitcoin on the ballot in America and Canada with Pierre Poilievre, and we've got 4 candidates that are very pro-Bitcoin here from, and even Dave Smith will probably be the libertarian candidate. So you got Dave Smith pro-Bitcoin, RFK pro-Bitcoin, Vivek Ramaswamy pro-Bitcoin, Tulsi Gabbard pro-Bitcoin. It's just very interesting, and we are just entering the new phase. It's becoming more mainstream, so more normies are going to come in. And then we're going to have to do our part to educate and continue to spread the sound money gospel, taking self-custody, holding your private keys, and all of those things are still essential. And it's a way to mitigate a kind of a massive thing where a BlackRock could absorb smaller companies due to legal ramifications and become a really big holder, something similar to MicroStrategy, but even larger. But 27 trillion is on the sideline, and say 10% of that in some fashion goes to Bitcoin. Its market cap goes to about 3.5 trillion. So as soon as stuff gets going, that is. And Michael Saylor said once banks start offering and custodying and doing these things with Bitcoin, you're going to be priced out of the market, or a lot of people will be. So it's good. Make sure you're front running these institutions so you can reap the rewards and make them pump your bags.
Jump in, Mike.
The only thing I will say is that I wasn't following Stop and Decrypt before, but during the show I went and followed him because that was some good stuff. Because like the only thing that I have to add or to insert into the conversation is that this is something that I've ranted on many times with you, Opti, is that like Bitcoiners that don't like that BlackRock is getting in, like I'm going to echo what Stop and Decrypt was saying. It's like tough, guys. You have to just suck it up. Like your guys' purity tests mean nothing. Like Bitcoin is literally for everybody. Like I'm just going to leave it at that. Like your purity tests just need to stop because it like Purity tests are low IQ. They never pass. Just stop being dumb.
Yeah, like Mike is making a great point there. There's a difference between what you want to be so and what is. And I feel like a lot of people can't get through the cognitive dissonance to get there.
Then they come just screaming and spitting. Just like all like the members of the Bitcoin community we've been ranting against for the last couple of years. It's like, if you want to bring people to Bitcoin, don't go screaming and spitting in their face, telling them that they're stupid. But I will happily tell the Bitcoin community that your guys' purity tests are stupid. Stop
Shots fired. Shots fired. Let's go. Spicy Friday show. Absolutely love it. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
It is kind of backwards when you want to force everyone to think in your fashion. That's not very free market, liberty-minded thinking.
That's not Bitcoin. That's anti-Bitcoin.
100%.
You're trying to force people to think a certain way about Bitcoin. Sorry, you're not a true Bitcoiner.
Oof. Shots fired. All right, I'm gonna leave that one alone, but definitely agree. All right, let's get into the meme review.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks.
Kaboom Racks. Kaboom. All right. Shouts out to the boys over at Kaboom Racks. Love you guys.
We're going to have a lot of push-ups today, Opti.
Wait, what do we saying Kaboom Racks? Do push-ups when they say Kaboom Racks?
Yeah, that's how Opti got so swole. You guys didn't see him at
Dude,
the
I'm on cup mode right now. All right, anyways, this is the meme review where you tag me on memes on Twitter or you drop them in our Telegram group. And Cedar, I see you. I thought I'd put one of your memes on this week, but he's yelling at me that I haven't put his memes on. So keep tagging me. I will get to them. I apologize. Tweets are the bullets, memes are the artillery. As you can tell, we are in an information war, and it's upon every single one of us to spread the signal, to get the calls of actions out there, to ridicule the corporate press, and of course, send the funnies to keep your friends' heads in the game. Okay, anyways, first meme is by Dr. Bitcoin MD. And I'm guessing he's been at the movie theaters recently because these are some movies that are coming out and they are part of the trailers, I believe. Anyways, we got Bitcoiner's first cycle and we got Margot Robbie over here as Barbie. She's looking all cute and clean and nice. And then we got Bitcoiner's fourth cycle. And we got, I forget what this guy's name is, but it's the actor that was in Peaky Blinders, Tommy from Peaky Blinders. But this is him as Oppenheimer, creating the nukes out there. And you can tell the difference. One is like, super innocent, naive, and one has been through the ringers and has seen it all and understands where we are going in this Bitcoin game.
Oh, that's Peaky Blinders, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is from he's coming out with a new movie. It's called Oppenheimer. If you guys know, you know. If you don't know, go look him up. Anyways, this next meme is by Flash Gordon, aka Mercury Gordon on Twitter. And he basically stole a picture and he said, nice meme template. And he basically, did his thing on the meme. And we got a cat here jumping on a person's face and scratching them. And the cat is titled Bitcoin. And the person whose face is getting scratched is CBDC's Bitcoin Wind. All right. Anyways, this next one is by Lena Sisha, absolutely killing it with the little hodler series. She goes, hodlers are born in bear markets. And we have the little hodler and he goes, I'm a hodler. And then he stumbles into a cave and it says, good luck. There goes the price. And you're in bear territory and you're just holding on to your Bitcoin as the price absolutely pummels you and drops 85% like it usually does. And you still stack and you still hodl. And then 2 to 3 years later, you come out on top and you hit an all-time high again. And now you're a hodler and you've seen through all the stuff and you're back to the original meme and you look like this guy who's seen it all and is unfazed. Okay, this next meme is by Satoshi Baggins and it goes, you will eat Z bugs and you will like it. And we have Klaus Schwab over here at the World Economic Forum, part of the, we've got the EU flag in the background and he is looking like, what's the...
Palpatine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's looking. What's the role though in Star Wars?
Emperor.
He's
Emperor
looking
Palpatine.
like the Dark Emperor.
Yep.
Emperor Palpatine. This is the way. Okay, anyways, this next meme is by our friends over at the Bitcoin Company, aka the BTC Co on Twitter. And I absolutely love this one because we kind of touched on this during the week with Mike in the culture segments. And I read this quote here and I was like, damn, like that's a good quote right here. We say it all the time. You don't change Bitcoin, Bitcoin changes you. But we got a little picture here of like an old computer and it's got the Bitcoin logo on it. But it's really about the quote here. And this is Obi-Wan Kino Bit on Twitter. And he is quoted as saying, "We aren't programming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is programming us." And it really does feel like that. Bitcoin is not only leaning into the meme of fix the money, fix the world, but it is reprogramming human behavior and, domesticating human greed for the better of humanity. It is, we aren't programming Bitcoin. Bitcoin is programming us. Absolutely love it. This next one is by Maxi Club. And, shouts out the DCA Army. We started with the DCA Army and we will end with the DCA Army. And we got a variation of the Titanic meme. And we got, I forget what their name is, but Leo is a central bank and the girl he fell in love with, I forget what her name is the US dollar.
Jack and Rose.
Yeah, Jack and Rose. We got Jack and Rose from the Titanic, and Jack's the central bank, and Rose is US dollar. And then we have the DCA Army, which is the iceberg, and it's a little Pepe with the champagne glass, giving you a wink, hodling, because DCA Army is winning. Let's go. Okay, and then this last one is by Meming Bitcoin. It's an AI-generated meme here of the Bitcoin gold coins, but on the chessboard. And this is something Mike and I always talk about, and it's a meme that I really love. It's the idea that Bitcoin is 5D chess, guys. You guys have not only, and we're going to mash two games together, chess and poker. Not only do you have the best hand in poker, but you have the central banks in checkmate, but you still have to follow through and make sure that you finish the game strongly. And we are winning, guys. We have the answers. We have the right blueprint. We have the game-winning checkmate move, but it's not enough to just have it. You have to follow through and ensure that you spread the signal, that you follow the best practices, you take Bitcoin into self-custody, you run a node, all that good stuff that we talk about every single day. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat that way.
First try.
Man, you see one update? Cloud Casino, good point. Palpatine was a democratically elected leader. Just saying, and I think Nico kind of hits on this a lot, and Alex Gladstein, is it possible to even have democracy when you have a few people dictating the currency? A few entities who control the money supply and monetary schedule. Democracy is impossible.
Okay, Rustin, drop your meme review score as I pull mine up.
All right, guys. So I got this book. It's called How to Become a Federal Criminal, and it's making fun of all the dumbass laws that are on the books. And on the back, I love it. It says, "Act natural. The government can totally see you reading this book. Just buy it and calmly leave the store." But yeah, guys,
That's a very good score.
Do not import a pregnant polar bear. That is one thing you don't.
Oh my goodness.
That's illegal?
That is illegal.
Okay, all right.
Unfortunately.
I got mine here. This might be the biggest score on Simply Bitcoin meme review yet. So hold on. Wait, let me full screen this so you guys can see it. All right. It is my birds of paradise that is in my room.
There you go.
It's huge.
And
it's
elephant ears?
invisible.
This is crazy.
Oxygenating that room like a Chad.
Okay. Yes, I have a plant in my room. All right. Mike, what is your meme review score?
I'm going to go with my naughty Christmas cup. It's backwards. I can't flip the camera, but it says naughty, guys. I'm sorry. I would if I could have printed it backwards just so you guys could read it, I would have, but I couldn't. So
all right, guys. Well, as we're waiting for the meme reviews, almost forgot to plug our boys over at BitPlates. Get yourself a BitPlates. Listen to this. ASMR BitPlates. Do not put your seed phrase on paper. You need to get something solid that can withstand flame, that is damn near indestructible, corrosion resistant 316L marine grade stainless steel, protecting your seed phrase into infinity and beyond. Use the promo code Simply and get 10% off all BitPlates products. Anyways, I again forgot to bring music because we haven't figured out the right music, but whatever. There's some memes in here, meme review scores. Let me see. All right, we have, wait, Yellow's yelling at me. What did I do, Yellow? All right,
You
hold
didn't,
on.
you didn't play his meme.
He wants the cat video.
Whatever the cat
Which
video is.
I don't send it to me.
I have no idea what it is.
Drop it in chat,
I think
or I'll put it on Monday. Is this live? All right. Sorry. All right. Hey, dude, I can't get to all the memes. All right. I already got yelled once for memes. I'll get yelled twice. Okay, whatever. All right. We got a few scores here. Let's see. Dennis Lassen, he goes, I give the meme with first cycle a big extra large Monster Energy poison venom drink. They needed to get back to life from the dead. Shots fired. Okay. All right. Let's see. Rave Elevator, I score the memes a cannonball jump in the pool. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. Hammer Saw. I score the memes, the block reward in 2030 when most of us will own nothing and supposedly be happy about it. Okay. Let's see. Next one by Elaine. Good morning, Elaine. She goes, score. Orange party takes over. Yellow for president. Opti for vice. I don't think that works. I don't think that's how it works.
I don't know if I want that.
Me neither, but I'm pretty sure we both can't get elected to office. But hey, we'll take over the world. Me and Yellow taking over the world. You heard it here first. Okay, next meme, score McLovin. Yellow skydives without a parachute and lands safely in a big net with the BTC logo on it. Okay.
Dude, I mean, Yellow should be Red Bull's sponsor. Let's get it made. Let's get it done.
Yeah, yelling at Mike for the Monster sponsor when he should be sponsored by Yellow's Red Bull. Okay, yep. Opti's neglected AI girlfriend. Oh, man. Score a Ziploc baggie invented by Oppenheimer. Okay, is that true? I don't know. Am I getting trolled? I don't know. Kaizen, my meme score is we Bitcoiners are winning. Let's go.
That's cool, motherfucking boy.
All right, let's see. UTXL, I give the memes a set of Hegel exercise to balance the Kant. Okay, yeah, all right.
Immanuel Kant. Yeah.
All right, Yellow, I give those memes Opti's lack of appreciation.
Malaka. No, don't stop believing. Huddle to that feeling.
Do you have it right here, Rustin? We could play it. We could play it right quick if you got it.
By the way, the Ziploc bag was invented by Borge Madsen.
Opti's neglected AI trolling me again. All right, Yellow. I promise I'll get it on the Monday show. So
I do have that. Someone got a photo of Yellow doing covert ops, kind of Tom Cruise action here.
No. He's mad. I'll get your cat meat on Monday, but the buzzer's here. So the buzzer's here.
Oh, where'd that come from?
Thank you, Rave Elevator. He reminded me the buzzer. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. It's Friday. I know we've had a little curveball this week. Nico was in Canada, but the show goes on. We are doing our best to make sure that Simply Bitcoin can live without Nico and I. This is why we get Rustin and Dell, and now Mike is our first alternative off the bench. And really appreciate you guys. I saw J-Dub in the chat say basically like Rustin and Mike and Opti holding it down for the show. He loves the energy. So again, guys, really appreciate you guys all week supporting us, but also, we're trying to branch out. So no matter who is in the role of host and co-host, we are going to give you guys the same Simply Bitcoin content. So love you guys. Really appreciate you guys. But Rustin, before we go, okay, Rustin's got something in the chat. You can hit on what you put in the chat, but also, what are you going to drop? You got everything lined up for the weekend. What's going on? Let's plug these clips, but because people still don't know that we have the clips and they're yelling at us because we're going too long and they don't understand what we're doing with the clips. So, what's going on over there, Rustin?
So every day between 3:21 and 4:21, you're going to find a clip pop up. It's going to be 10 to 20 minutes. Bitcoin education, fundamentals, news, macro, all of that, Austrian economics, all sorts of things. The Orange Pill, your family and friends. We kind of break down Bitcoin in simple terms, me and Dell. And today we have Dell. He's going to tell you why any delay in the Bitcoin spot ETF is actually super bullish. And then over the weekend, we're going to check out the recent huge podcast with Jack Mallers and Jack Dorsey. We're going to bring you some of the best of that. And then we also had, again, we're going to pull the curtain back on BlackRock and talk about how megalithic of an organization they are, how much power they have, how much sway they have. And really, that talks about how bullish and how mainstream this could send Bitcoin in this next bull cycle. And we're 9 months away? What is it? April
Like
2024?
300 days. So that's, it's about 9 months.
Yeah. So we're coming up on some big stuff, guys. We'll be Simply Bitcoin will be talking. We should get to talk a little with Peter St. Onge today. We got asked to come to an interview, so that'll be on Twitter Spaces at.
Oh yeah, I have to roll it down quickly today, right?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Are you going to jump on the Simply Bitcoin?
Yeah, they don't start till 1:30. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so it's like going on right now?
No. You're Eastern time. I'm Central.
Okay. Yeah. Then I have time. All right, cool.
Yeah, you're good, brother. But yeah, and that starts, I think, at 2 p.m. Officially, there'll be a warm up there. So hopefully Peter St. Onge, we can get him over here at Simply Bitcoin. That would be awesome.
Oh,
Let's
can't
go.
wait for the Spaces with Yellow.
Yo, here we go. Okay. 282 days until the halving. Anyways, Rustin, drop the everyone's yelling at me that I'm saying it wrong. So Oppenheimer.
No.
Oh, guys,
Who cares? Just keep saying it wrong.
Oppenheimer, guys, the Manhattan Project. So
if you know, you know. If you know, you know.
FDR died, right? But when Truman took over, he had no idea they were doing any of this. He had no idea the Manhattan Project was going on. He didn't know we had the technology or the capability or any of that. And it's just funny that he ended up dropping that on. Not funny, but ironic that he dropped the bomb on Japan when he had no idea of what it was capable of or anything like that. He inherited all that right after he became president under duress terms.
All right, now I'm getting why everyone's trolling me in the chat. I got tagged on a meme on Twitter, but hey, that's for another story. Mike, or actually before I go, Rustin, really appreciate it. You filling in. I know it was last minute, but the show goes on, so kudos to you. And go check out all his clips on the YouTubes, because we're dropping that hot fire all weekend. All right, Rustin, we'll chat in a minute. Maybe join us in Spaces. Peace out, bro. And then, of course, I think I've plugged Mike. I think we plugged everything you've done all week. So I don't know. What is there anything new, or is there anything else around? I don't know. People seem to like you.
I don't know what new I could have when I've been on here, I think, almost every day this week. But I will just say that anybody who hasn't seen the other videos, I'm pretty sure we have a lot of regulars in here. Please, not please, I'm not going to beg for it, but if you're interested in hearing a bunch of Bitcoin veterans talk about Bitcoin and like some of our stories and our experiences with being in the military, come hang out with us Wednesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. We have, just go to Bitcoin Veterans, like that's the @ on Twitter. Like, come hang out with us. There's 5 of us. We'll be doing something similar to this, where like there's 5 of us chatting, but then we'll be doing the spaces at the same time. So if you want to chat with us, you want to rant with us, come hang out. Other than that, just check out the Substack down below. Follow me on Twitter. That's it, man. I'm not going to inundate everybody with all the same stuff I've said multiple times this week.
Well, Mike won't do it, but I'll do it for him. He's very humbled by all the love he got coming on the show, and what we did yesterday. I think it was yesterday on the Culture with Bitcoin veterans. So shouts out to all you guys that DM'd him and showed him some love. Keep encouraging him, because I think Mike has a good perspective, but also we're letting a little baby fly, and hopefully he's gonna let his personality creep into everything we're doing. Anyways, Mike, jump in the spaces and we'll roll this one out. Of course, guys, hey, it's the Friday show, so got a little loose. We got Rustin a little wild on this one, but you already know the deal. Come join us on Twitter Spaces. Make sure you're watching all the content we drop over the weekend. And of course, we are in audio form on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and part of the Value for Value economy on Fountain. We appreciate all the love and support. Don't just spread Simply Bitcoin, spread all the Bitcoin content, because there's not enough, obviously, because people still haven't woken up to the Bitcoin message. So maybe tailor the message. Maybe, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not doing this good enough and I need to get better at orange pilling. Anyways, we love you guys. Nico will be back on Monday for our normally scheduled programming. Give him some shit on Twitter because he left us abandoned all week. No, I'm just joking. All right, guys. Peace out. Until next time, it's your boy Opti. Much love. Have a good weekend. Get outside. Touch some grass. Do some exercise, eat some good food, all that good stuff. All right, peace. And let me make sure I get everyone up here on the Twitter Spaces. Let me make sure that this rolls out because it's a little clunkier when I got to do the hosting myself. But you already know the deal. This is a Bitcoin space by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. So come up here, add your 2 cents to the conversation. We want to hear what you have to say about Bitcoin. It's not just about me being on my soapbox, but it is the Friday